Welcome back to the Crochet Credits with my friends over at yarnspirations.com. We're continuing our journey today with the Fall Fabulous Wreath. We have already done the big grape in this series, which looks like this. We're now going to do the small grape next. It's going to be a little bit simpler to make because it's smaller, of course. You'll need 9 of those bad boys, and today we're going to get started. You'll need a 4mm size G crochet hook, and I'm going to continue to play with my Caron 1-pound yarn, but the yarn of choice is suggesting is Red Heart with Love. Without further ado, let's get right into this. You'll need a little bit of stuffing so that it will keep that grape nice and full. So let's begin. We're going to start off with the magic circle. So we have been doing a magic circle in this series, and hopefully you've been catching on to it, but I will show you it again just in case this is your first video of the series. To do the magic circle, you're just going to lay the your hand out and lay the yarn on top, and then you're just going to use 2 fingers. So just subtract the other 2 fingers out like this. Okay, these 2 fingers, and then you are just going to take this yarn and just wrap it around those 2 fingers and just rotate your hand over and do an X over top. Yeah, so let's show you again. So you lay out your hands like this, and then just subtract the other 2 fingers, so you have 2 of these here, and then just rotate your hand and it will cross over. So use your ring finger to hold it down here, and you're just pinching, and you're gonna slide that hook underneath this one here, and you're just gonna grab that one. So watch, just slide up underneath and grab, and just hold on to it and slide your fingers out. When you go to crochet, you're gonna crochet over the end piece as well as that circle, and we're just going to chain 1 to lock it so you're ready to go. Let's move on now to round number 1, and you will need a stitch marker today, which I'll explain in just a moment. In round number 1, right where we are, we're gonna crochet right over top of those 2 strands, and I want you to put in 5 single crochets. So we'll count those out together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So once the 5th one is done, just pull up on this, and you want to just take the strand, the end, and just pull it, and that'll close that circle down. Now if you cut that, it's gonna explode apart later. So turn it upside down and go to the back side and grab your tapestry needle, and I want you to secure that into the back side of that grape. It will fall out, my friends, if you don't do this. So you're just gonna go through, and you're just gonna go into the back, and you want to go back and forth a total of 3 times. So 1, and go through again twice, and 3 times is a charm. So if you're ever looking to get rid of your tails without it falling out, make sure you go back and forth 3 times. I've been teaching that for years. So I used to always weave in my ends, but things fall out. So just turn this back over, and before you put this back onto your hook, just go up and underneath that first stitch that you're just in and pull through. And you're just gonna pull through 1 strand so that you can keep an eye on that, and that's your last stitch. And then pull this tight, and you're ready for round number 2. So let's move along to round number 2. So go in the 5th one back, so just count it back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the very first one. Start there, and I want you to apply 2 single crochets into that stitch. So 1 and 2, and then do the next one, and you're gonna do this all the way to that stitch marker, and that's why you put it in there. So there's no slip stitching involved in this, so you won't see a slip stitch line in your grapes at all. So there's 2 single crochets all the way to the stitch marker, so which is this one here, and on the 2nd stitch is where you want to move that stitch marker up. Okay, so just pull the loop and just slide up underneath, pull it through, and then put this and tighten it back on, and that was round number 2. In rounds number 3 and 4, it's both the same. So we're now going to keep this ball looking the same size. So we're just gonna do 1 single crochet in each of the stitches going all the way around, and when you get to that stitch marker, can you move it up please, and make sure that you do count this as row number 3, and then do round number 4 in the same way, and then I will pick you up at that point. You're gonna need a little bit of stuffing at the end of round number 4 as well. So rounds number 3 and 4, please just 1 single crochet in each, and I'll see you at the end of round number 4 in just a moment. So just finished off round number 4. So you got a little bit of a hole there. So just take some stuffing and just apply it into the hole before you begin the final round, which is number 5. So you don't want to overstuff it so that it's bleeding and stuffing. So just enough to keep it from collapsing. So you can decide as you're going around if you need more or less. So just keep stuffing or removing if you have to. So the very final round is nice and easy. It's just 2 single crochets, over and over and over. So 2 single crochet together. So just go into the first one, pull through, then go into the next stitch and pull through, and you have 3 loops, pull through all 3. And you're gonna continue to do that around. So pull through the first one and then the second one. So do that all the way around. It's just gonna take a few seconds here. And this is closing in that circle. That's why you wanted to stuff that in before we got there. Now you're gonna end up with the large tail at the end of this that you can use to put onto your wreath as well. So just keep that in mind as you're fastening off as well. So that's it. So you're gonna just keep a long strand and you're gonna pull it through that hole. And then you want to throw that through. So get rid of the stitch marker if you had one. And you want to close this down. So in order to do that, you're just going to just take your tapestry needle and now that the tapestry needle's on, I'm just going to collect the open stitches, and I'm just collecting, and then at the end I will pull tight and then it will close in that hole. And I would leave on this long strand so that you can either decide to tie this to your wreath or you can use your greening pins. So once it's in there, just make sure that you secure it like that and just leave on a long tail. And you can either use a greening pin or whatever, or hot glue gun, and this is the small grape. So if you compare the two, you see the difference, so you can have a nice mix of that. And you can also have green grapes and all of those fun other color grapes as well. So this is how to do the small grape, and we'll see you next time in the next tutorial, which is the final of this series of the acorn itself. Until next time, have a good one. Here comes the hands you better deck. See ya. Bye bye.